very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm quite happy to have you on yet another interesting episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinyi, and I'm always glad to bring you up to date with a comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place within this country and across the border. Prof, how are you?
Wonderful.
Welcome to the show. I want us to focus on the Orange Party and perhaps the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition with regards to all that is taking place therein.
Yes.
After the four generals of the ODM party joined the cabinet.
Yes.
Then definitely they left vacant positions therein. And seemingly those positions have been filled. Of course, we've seen names being proposed there. The likes of Gladys Wanga is supposed to be replacing John Mbadi as the party chairperson. And of course, 3 deputy party leaders led by Osotsi, and of course, Simba Arati and Abdul Samad Sheriff Nasir all the way from Mombasa. Let's have this conversation going. What do you make of the new face of the party? Does it give some sort of a life to the party that has been actually bedeviled with a number of problems recently?
Well. Maybe not. First of all, I don't understand why 3 deputy party leaders. You don't water things down to solve a problem.
Okay.
It's not what it was. Even 1966 or thereabout, when Kanu decided to have regional vice president instead of one, Jaramogi Oginga, he got annoyed and left because what remained was not anything. It was rubbish.
Okay.
Even Kanu, under Moy again, around 2002, when they decided to have 4, is it vice chairman or whatever, Mudavadi, Ngara, Huru, the other one was, I don't know who. Kalonzo, it didn't come out well. So now you want to remove, to add another deputy party leader. You make the position useless. That's not the way people should be going. Try to solve your problems. You don't run away from a problem. You solve a problem. So, in other words, effective, that position has lost meaning.
Okay.
If they do it that way, it has lost meaning. It's not there. And Raila Odinga, this happened to his father in 1966. And the father refused.
But Prof, the party has had 2 deputy party leaders.
Yeah, they should remain like
just
that.
adding one.
At least
how
people
then does
are,
that
no.
complicate
They started with 2. That's good enough.
Okay, now let's make me understand this. How are they supposed to be balancing this? Because one,
You never balance. Even if you put 5, you never balance. Even 10. There will be need for 15 vice deputy party leaders. After you get to 15, there will be need for 20. After you get to 20, there will be need for every community to have 1. Once you have 42, you have 42 communities.
Yes.
Then the lawyer will say, no, you can't give us 1 slot. We are 18. So you need another 18. You can't ever balance it that way. So I'm telling ODM, stop this stupidity.
So what
then
do you think informed? What are some of the things that are actually the factors that informed their decision to have 3?
It is stupidity. There's nothing else. Yeah,
look at their basis. Look at ODM's
It's just
basis.
cheapness.
Because, initially, let's look at the people who held these positions at the cost that is actually has been.
What I'm saying, there must be a way of solving this thing other than running away from the trouble, from the challenge.
Okay.
If you have a problem, you don't run away from it. You solve it. Okay. By creating 3 deputy party leader positions, they're running away from the problem.
Okay, what was the
It will soon catch up with you.
So what was the problem actually here?
Ask them.
Because
I'm saying they are unable to face the problem head on. So they're running away from it. Yeah.
When you have 3 strong individuals who are actually running for this,
they are not strong. Arati, in my view, was the right person to become the chairman of the party.
Okay.
Not deputy party leader. So you leave Osozi and maybe Abdul Swamad. I would have preferred Gideon Mungalo. For the reason that Kilifi, at the cost, always gives Raila 100% of the votes. And Coast has had more than him. Mombasa has had more than his fair share of the leadership of Coast. So this time it would have gone to Kilifi.
Talking about numbers, can you compare 100% of Kilifi with 50% of Mombasa?
I don't really have the numbers in mind, but the numbers are not always the voters. The numbers are also members of parliament.
So look at the person
Yes.
who was actually leading the party at the cost, of course, Hassan Joho.
Yeah. Joe is already a minister. That is enough.
Okay,
So if Mombasa has a powerful minister, why do you want to add them a deputy party leader? Why don't you take it to Kilifi? Because Kwale is not so strongly ODM. So in my view, they would have given to somebody like Gideon Mungala or Mazayo, Senator Mazayo.
Then let's shift our focus. Of course, you're saying that. So for you, the coastal region, the peak of Abdul Samad Sheriff Nasir.
I have nothing against him. He's a good man. But I'm saying they have a cabinet secretary and they have been leading coast all the time.
The cabinet,
and you see,
the cabinet and ODM are
ODM is stronger
things.
in Kilifi than it is in Mombasa.
Sure.
Yes, I know. Mombasa is the focal point. It's important that you have Mombasa. If you lose Mombasa, then you can lose the entire coast. But they have Joho there. It's a question of not being greedy. So what Mombasa is doing is being greedy.
Joho is no longer...
Joho is the cabinet secretary and he will still call the shots. So the governor is also powerful because he's the governor. Me, kama ni mimi, what do you call that name? Is so difficult.
Abdul Samad Sheriff Nasir.
Nasir was my friend, so let me call him Nasir. The son of Nasir should have remained governor.
Okay.
And somebody like Mazayo or Mungalo, Gideon should have become the deputy party leader. Then the coast is well represented. It's my own thinking. When you come to Western, it was very good to give it to Osozi. Because the other alternative would have been Otuoma. Otuoma has had his issues with the party. Sometimes the party feels he's not completely 100% loyal.
Okay.
So that leaves you with basically Osozi.
So he's been having...
And Osozi has been more deserving because he has been the lone soldier in the region. He has fought. He has stood with Baba. He has stood with the party against sometimes very serious odds. So for Osozi, I have no problem. It was the right choice. He's a young man. The party also needs to appreciate young people. Osozi is an astute debater in Senate. He was in Parliament, National Assembly when he was nominated. And in fact, Osozi is poised even to be the governor of Vihiga in 2027. So that is a good choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about
But for Gladys Wanga, I don't support. That should have been Arati. And if you look at the list, you also seem to see that there's too much Luo in it. That's something they should have avoided.
Where does the Luo come in? Because
there's too much Luo there.
We have Osotsi from Western.
No, I'm saying, but I mentioned Osozi already, but I'm saying
so
there are Wanga there, Ruto, G, Rosa Bowe. And if they wanted a Luo, why didn't they take Babu?
Okay. Politically,
why not Babu?
Politically speaking, when you
that list also has left Babu out and Olekina. Those two should have been on that list. And I want to advise ODM. Since this is just a mere proposal, do the following. One, and somebody should tell Raila this. I'll look for him and tell him. Before this thing is tabled for approval, one, maintain 2 party leader positions. Give it to cost. Either, if you choose Nasir, that's your problem, but I would prefer Mungalo. Give to Osozi. So you have 2 deputy party leaders. Make Simba Arati the chairman of the party. Let Wanga continue with the governor, and she's a rising star in her own way. Don't entangle her in party politics, because she's going up. Gladys Wanga can go up to bigger things. Don't entangle her in ODM things. Leave it. Bring on board Olekina and give him a serious position. People feel Babu is not being treated fairly. Bring him on board.
Okay.
Give him something else. I don't know who is going to be the party leader once Raila...
And yeah, actually, that also raises a lot of questions.
Once Raila leaves for AU. That is another issue. My honest opinion has been that there should be less Luo in this succession of ODM than I'm beginning to witness. So that it doesn't come out as a Luo party. They have to guard against that. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. So definitely the Kisii region, that is the other part of Nyanza, is somehow threatened with of course, the rise of UDA therein. You see how Ruto's appointment down there are breathing a lot of fire. And do you then think that perhaps giving Arati this position would actually help him in solidifying the ODM base in that.
Yes, if it was not three, they have destroyed that position. It no longer has haina ladha.
Okay, I don't know how the party rules normally work here, but then assuming Raila, because right now Raila is the party leader, and we are wondering who is the next party leader. Do you even think that perhaps the party intends to retain somebody, maybe elevate one of the deputy party leaders?
I don't know. I know they will also argue Bosira is a Kisi and is the treasurer of the party, and therefore you cannot give Arati the chair. Those are things they will have to deal with. But my honest opinion is that arrangement is not good. It will not help them. It will not work. Remove the idea of three party leaders and remove Gladys Wanga from the picture. Make the party less Luo. My honest opinion. Remove Ruth Odinga. Have nothing against her. She's a fine lady, good lady. We are neighbors at home. Remove Rosa Buya. Beautiful lady. Yes, nothing against her. Just remove. If you have to have a Luo there. There are also young people like Eddie. Eddie from Migori, you know. You come from Migori. Yeah. Eddie the senator. Yeah, those are the sort of people I expected to see being given. This idea of over relying on loyalists, established names, me, I'm not for it. We must break away from these established names. That's why I welcome Osozi. You know? So I expected from Nyanza people like Babu Owino. Babu is from Nairobi, but low. Eddie Ocheng. Those are the names I wanted to hear. Even Luo must be there. But these other ladies, they should sit home a bit. Yeah.
If at all the party decides to do away with the name of Gladys Wanga and maybe the names that you've mentioned here, Rosa Boyo and maybe Ruth Odinga, they may be accused of being too patriarchal.
No, there are many other women elsewhere. They should look for women outside Luo Nyanza. There are women in ODM. Look for them. Look for them. What I'm trying to tell Raila and ODM is, if you don't take care, this will be a Luo party. And it's the biggest we have in the country. We don't want to lose a party that is necessary for our democracy. But we will lose it. It will become a Luo party.
Okay. Let's focus now on Babu Owino and his exclusion from that particular list that we saw of those proposed new ODM leaders. What then do you think this now portends for him? Because he's been seen as a rising star, and we expected that perhaps he would be given a chance, first of all, to lead in that particular party. But that's not the case right now.
You know, they are just doing they are doing work for Babu the way Ruto and his team are doing work for Gachagua. The truthful man of God, the son of Mau Mau, has had his work done for him for free. They have propelled him into the skies. ODM is doing the same for Babu Owino. He's coming out as being victimized. ODM is coming out as very unfair. As very unfair to Babu Owino. That kind of builds somebody's stature. So they are doing the Lord's work for Babu Owino. That's what I'm saying, should have been clever to sneak him in. Because again, it will be very difficult for Babu Owino to say no, even if he was made secretary of some small thing. He'll come out as being ungrateful, as being rebellious, unappreciative, looking down upon Raila and the ODM. So he would have been forced to take that small thing. But now if they give him, he can refuse. He can say, this is an afterthought. So they are doing the Lord's work for Babu Owino. They are building Babu Owino in the same way Ruto built Gachagua.
So for him, what
he'll go for bigger things.
Right now.
He'll go for bigger things.
Bigger things how?
There are bigger things in the sky there. Yeah, the sky has bigger things.
Then advise him to abandon this particular vehicle if at all they're not giving.
No, it's not a question of abandoning. Babu is not a foolish boy. You think going against ODM and Raila in Nyanza is something you just wake up and do one day. You are very calculative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of party leadership, the only bigger thing here that we can talk about is the party leader. which is currently held by the Right Honorable Raila Odinga.
But Babu does not need to be the party leader of ODM. ODM could die his natural death, and Babu Owino will be there as the alternative to the region.
Okay.
Yes. So right now, when he moves in the region, do you see the commotion is causing?
Are you trying to advise Babu to just be patient and wait for...
No, he's not patient, he's moving. He has been on a tour of Nyanza, and he's been raising dust there. You looked at the numbers and the excitement. So, I'm only advising ODM. They should be paying me a bit. They should have sneaked Babu in, kakitu kidogo, hangekata. But leaving him out now, you are building his image.
Okay.
Now, wherever he goes, people just want him to stop and talk to them. If he went to Kondele, he will bring Kisumu to a standstill.
No. Let's finally look at how this actually affects, because it affects their interposition in the...
And actually that, by the way, that if they are not careful, there are two individuals who will come out very strongly in Luo Nyanza. Evans Kidero and Babu Owino. Those are the two people who will be standing. I'm telling you. Yeah, I know the politics of this.
Why are you bringing Kidero here again?
I'm saying, the way they treated him in Homa Bay, also people were not happy about it.
And then?
And even he lost in Nairobi in 2017 because the support of ODM and Baba wasn't quite the way it should have been. And in 2013, they gave him because he had no option. It was so difficult. The people they wanted, they couldn't for even technical reasons, including one who didn't have a degree. So when you treat people in that manner, I'm just saying, you give them unnecessary mileage.
But definitely, Kidero had some sort of mileage back then because he decided to shift and work with the government. Right now, Raila is at the same place, so how then does that...
That's also another tricky thing. These people who ODM was vilifying, now Raila has joined them. I don't know how that will pan out.
I'm also waiting to see how that would pan out, but then...
In fact, their principal sectors, I'm sure they are shaking where they are.
Because they were actually kind of...
Look at Awalo. Awalo may have his own problems, but he was a very highly performing minister here. But he had to go with this arrangement. So politics is sometimes a very bad game. Yeah.
And I remember back then saying that you cannot actually get the Luo region without going through Raila. And it's like that is the same route that now Ruto has decided to follow.
Yeah, it is true to a very large measure.
And most likely, the likes of Kidero may be casualties of the same.
They could be casualties, but they could also benefit in the same way. I'm saying, I've told you, there are people who are questioning Raila in the manner they have never questioned before. That you know. The general population in Luo Nyanza is not 100% Raila the way they were. They are not fanatical about Raila. They are beginning to ask questions. And when people get to a point when they begin to ask questions, the wind could blow the other direction. That's why I'm asking Raila to be a little more careful than he has so far been. One, with his dealings with Ruto. Two, and the way he's crafting the ODM leadership. He has to be very careful. He has lost out on the first one. He must not lose out on this one of ODM. Otherwise, you'll open a window through which people like Kidero and Babu Owino will pass and eventually open the front door and enter the house and evict everybody else. It's quite possible. That's how politics works. Yeah.
No, here, the Orange Party is being blamed of a lot of things here, but then, of course, they've also been blamed of betrayal by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. I saw the likes of Eugene Wamalwa, the DAP party leader, saying here that they've betrayed the cause, and this actually means that perhaps we could witness the potential fallout of the different leaders, and maybe that this would perhaps mean the end for Azimio. What do you make of that?
Azimio looks to be on the deathbed, ICU. Unless politics plays out in the manner it normally does in this country, which means unless Kalonzo Musyoka, despite the resistance in the initial stages, unless Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and the rest of these people, except for Mother Karua, they just go the way it is predictable that at one time they will find themselves with Raila and the Ruto. Unless that happens, then I think we can safely say that Raila is on his own. Yeah. But it's quite possible that Ruto and the rest of Musyoka and his team, apart from Kalonzo, apart from Mother Karua, You could find him in State House having a cup of tea in the morning with Raila there.
Okay.
Actually, Raila will be the one welcoming them there.
Well, let's wait and see what happens. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, our eyes are still focused on what is taking place in this country, but with regards as well to what is taking place within the Orange Party. We want to see whether these names will be ratified as the leaders of this particular party. We're also waiting to see what the future holds for them, owing to the fact that currently the Right Honorable Raila Odinga remains the party leader of this particular party. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evan Sokinyi. Thank you for being with us and thank you for watching. And if at all you're watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to this channel here and be free and willing to support us as well. Thank you.